Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to the channel. It's it's almost dark, and this is a very scary place at night. There's all sorts of activity, and this is just a dead spot right here. I mean, there's like barely anybody walking around. There's a 7-Eleven across the street. There are some people that come and go. I did see a lady of the night walk by, and just in general, this area is very scary at night. I don't like it at all. But I'm trying to find new locations to set up and kind of give it an idea of how much activity is going on. It's right about dusk time. There's some people that go over there to the 7-Eleven. There's really nobody there right now. Sometimes there's people that go behind the trash dumpsters over there. It's just kind of interesting to sit back and observe human activity. You know, this place is amazing in a lot of ways. It is just loaded with all sorts of interesting people. Most of them are drug addicts. There's a lot of good people down here. You know, there's obviously people that have to run businesses and have families. It's a very hot day today, so I did notice that a lot of the side streets, people have like the fire hydrant open, and some of them have little like baby pools. Their kids are jumping around in the pools out on the sidewalk, to give you a kind of a perspective. I've seen this woman before. You know, it's just you know, you've got to imagine, like, there's at least 1,000 or more drug addicts down here. There's got to be more than 1,000. It's got to be like 2,000. But they go in certain areas, and they call them, I guess the street name is, they have encampments down here. It's where I've filmed in the past some, you know, really big crowds of people to gather together. I'm learning more and more about this area, and I understand that you know, the F word, friend, is a no-no down here. Nobody has friends down here. Nobody is to be trusted. It's just really interesting. I wanted to come down here, you know, before it got too dark, just to see what's going on, kind of observe. I went down to Kensington and Allegheny earlier, which is like ground zero, and there was just tons and tons of people. And I'm trying to be as safe as possible for obvious reasons. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed to the channel. It's been really exciting and very amazing to see those numbers go up. And I enjoy having conversations with the subscribers and the people who comment. So keep that up, and spread the word about this channel too, because we want to grow this channel to as much as we can. If anybody wants to send us a direct email, it is in the description of the channel. It's definisland@proton.me, I believe, is the email address, but it'll be in the description. And also, if there's any companies out there that would like to sponsor us or even provide us with some type of products, like anything that these people could use that may be helpful to them, we'd be happy to distribute it, and we'd be happy to mention your company in our videos. So keep that in mind. There's a cute little couple. Guess they're going to get together. Bunch of motorcycles. Everybody on motorcycles down here, they just drive around. No license plates. Cops don't do anything. I'm assuming that the cops are told to stand down on everything around here. It's pretty much like a giant lawlessness place. And then when something major happens, like there was a stabbing the other day, there's been shootings down here a lot, then the police get involved. But for the most part, they don't arrest the drug addicts. They don't take them in unless they're committing like a major crime. I think that's about the only time that they'll do that. It's really a shame, because I had family and friends that used to live down here years ago, and it was a really beautiful place. It had its issues, but you could feel generally safe being around here, and that's just simply not the case anymore. So I hope you are enjoying these videos. I'm trying to bring you the truth by providing you with raw videos of this area, so you can get a better understanding of exactly what it is. I heard some noise. That's why I turned around to see what's going on. Looks like there's a woman over by the 7-Eleven. Probably begging for money. I don't know what the solution is down here. I'm sure a lot of people don't know what the solution is. I've gotten some nasty comments too, by the way. One in particular, a person suggested that we kick one of the people. I didn't think that was very nice. So I suppose one of the things we can do is bring awareness to the area and pray. Pray that these people get recovery. Pray that they, can be released from this devil that takes over their entire bodies and their life and their families' lives, and it just sucks the life out of them. activity is pretty much non-stop, 24 hours a day down here. And that in itself is amazing. There's shit happening on every street. I know I've said this in other videos, but I mean, this was like a manufacturing powerhouse. And all the homes around here were basically built so that the workers could live close by, because back in the day they didn't have much transportation. People didn't have cars back then, or at least not a lot of people had cars back then. And I do have an interesting fact about this train line, which a lot of people don't know. And that is that this rail line was built to get horses and buggies off the street, because there was motor vehicles coming of age. And so they wanted to get the horse manure off the street, and they wanted the horse traffic off the roads in Philadelphia. So they came up with this idea to build a public transportation system, and this was part of it. And I believe, I could be wrong, maybe somebody out there knows, that Ford was behind it or helped support this, because they wanted to sell more cars, which makes sense, right? And people from out of the area who didn't live in the neighborhood could then travel down here quicker to get to the factories that were down here, so that they could get to work and get back home in a fast manner. And when the factories left, for whatever reasons they left, you know, people didn't have work. They had to seek work in other places. Property values started to drop. And then eventually it's gotten to this point, which seems to many as a point of no return. However, I have faith in God that somehow, some way, the citizens of this world will not tolerate this kind of activity in the future. To me, this is simply not acceptable. There's been more overdose deaths down in this neighborhood in this year than any other year in the past. And there's a streetwalker. And if you think about it, like, all right, let's just take the conversation to a different level. All right. If you were a company, I don't know, sneaker company, a soda company, a chair company, whatever kind of company, and you made a product that caused a death, you would be able to sue that company for wrongful death. Right? Makes sense. If you were a pharmaceutical company, or like a hospital or whatever, like say you went to the hospital to get an operation done and you accidentally died, that would be a wrongful death suit. If you were out doing no good and you just shot and killed somebody, they would arrest you for murder. If you're selling a product that people are using that gets you addicted and eventually kills you, why aren't these people being held accountable? I mean, it just makes sense, right? Then people will say, well, the people chose to do it on their own, so they put it in their own body. So many different arguments. We just had a primary election here in Philadelphia. We thankfully are getting rid of Mayor Kenny. And Democrat female won the primary election here. And there's a Republican who won the primary. He was the only Republican running. And obviously he would win. So then they'll have a general election, and the Democratic female, I forget her name, but I'm sure I'll remember it soon enough. She will most likely become the next mayor. And I think that many of us here in Philadelphia are hoping and praying that she makes some powerful moves to help all people, everybody, including the people in Kensington. Major things need to be done down here. I'm not that smart of a guy to know how to do it. I can only show you what's going on down here. Hopefully, some of these people who can make big changes can actually do the same, can look at these things here and, maybe they've never been down here. Maybe they've never taken a closer look. Maybe they don't completely understand what's going on here in Philadelphia, in Kensington. And maybe these videos will enlighten them. I'm hoping to tell a story, a very interesting story about being down here. I'm going to be telling that possibly in the next couple days. It's pretty amazing. I think in some ways the good Lord wants me to do these videos and share them with you so that we can collectively pray together for the recovery of these people and for the recovery of our city and our nation. No one wants to see these people out here on the streets, homeless, dirty, and sick. A lot of people are sick down here. Mentally sick and physically sick. Skin diseases. Sexual diseases. There's just so much going on down here. It is so completely complex. And for me, and for many of us, the only thing we can do is pray. So why don't we do that and we'll close this out, all right? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. Lord, deliver us from evil and grant us peace in our day. And in your mercy, keep us free from sin and protect us from all anxieties as we wait in joyful hope for the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. And as a side note, I don't care what religion you are. If you're a Muslim, you need to pray for these people. If you're a Buddhist, pray for these people. If you're a Native American Indian, you practice that. If you're a Mormon, I'm calling out all religions to come out and pray for these people. Please. This is a terrible place. It's an inflicted place. It's a sinful place. And sometimes I describe it as hell on earth. This is Kensington, Philadelphia. And it's a bad place. And the good people of Philadelphia should not have to tolerate this. The good people of the world should not have to tolerate this. Somebody knows how to fix this. The only thing we can do is pray. I hope everybody has a good night and a great weekend. Enjoy your families and your friends. And hug your children. And tell them about the dangers of drugs and the influences of their friends. And keep them close to you. And don't ever let them get into this situation as these people down here. I love you all. I hope you understand my purpose. I'm trying to give you raw video so you can get a grasp of the reality of what's going on. All right, I'm done my rant. Good night, everybody. Peace out. Peace and love.